Alright, it's been raining. As you can hear, I'm walking through water. All it's been doing here in South Florida is rain, rain, rain. Alright? Now let's say you're in a survival situation. Lighter got wet. Don't have any means to make a fire. You have a few choices. You can use cypress, which is a softwood. That can make you a bow drill fire. You can use Caesar weed. That can make you a fire using a hand drill. You can also use soft maple, which is a silver maple here. It's not the easiest to use, but it will work. You have juniper trees down here, or eastern red cedar. But the problem with that is you're not going to find it out here. Alright? I'm going to show you the best way and easiest by far to make a fire in wet conditions. Everything is wet here. Alright? I'm going to show you something that's not wet. And it looks like I've got the perfect solution right here. Alright? What you want to do, grab yourself a couple of these hanging on a cabbage palm. Cabbage palms are everywhere out here. Alright, first things first, just grab these, break these off. Once I get that done, I'll be back with you. You need some tinder. Showed you in one of my videos. Right here. Okay? This is moist, so you gotta find yourself some drier stuff. All the fronds seem to be leaning this way. So reach up under here. Remember, check for what you got crawling around in there. Okay, all this seems nice and dry. Collect yourself some of that. Now, there's other tinders you can use out here. Okay, there's a lot of grasses out here. And you can find some dry stuff. You know, some of these stalks are dead. And just pick a bunch of that, and that'll help you with some tinder out here in a softball meadow field. Lots of grasses out here too. Grab some of that for tinder if you see it, because some of it's dry that's still standing. Another way to make tinder is by using a bald cypress tree. Okay, you're going to take the back of your knife and you're just going to scrape. This stuff breaks up into good fibers. Okay, you got to get that first outer layer off. Just keep scraping. Hold your hand underneath it and just start catching. Okay, see how that's starting to scrape now? You can use your sharp part here. Start getting some of that. If you find a dead bald cypress, it works even better. It's a really good tinder when it's dead. It just kind of peels right off. Okay, but this stuff here, this will work good for you to put in your tinder bundle. Alright, another thing you can also find is Melaleuca bark. Okay, real papery, real fine. This stuff is great tinder because it has an oil in it similar to like birch bark up north. And I'm going to do a quick demonstration because you can't find this in every place in Florida, but if you're in the Everglades and you're in a situation, you will find this. It's an invasive species. They're trying to control it, but they can't control it everywhere. And I'm going to show you, we got some bald cypress here. We got some cabbage palm out of the top of the tinder. I showed you how to get that a minute ago. And we're going to break this up. Now I broke up the bald cypress and everything. You always got to break it up to expose them fibers. This will get it ready to burn, and what I'm going to show you is the differences of how easy they all light, so you can decipher which one you like the best. Now, to make our primitive fire, we're not going to use this, but I'm going to use a ferro rod just to show you how well these tinders work. Okay, here's the bald cypress. You can see it doesn't light as good. It's wet back here. It's one of those things that burns quite quickly. That caught a little bit there. You see? Bald cypress isn't your best bet. It's good to add because it burns quick. It'll give you a quick flame, but it's not going to catch that easy. Now, if we watch this stuff, that catches pretty easily. Didn't take very much. Okay, but you can tell that it can burn up quick on you, so you got to gather enough of it. That took one strike. Bald cypress wasn't working so good. See, it's so wet right now, it just ain't going to do you no good. Now Melaleuca will take off for you well too. I don't have very much and it is really windy right now. As you can see. There you go. There's Melaleuca. Melaleuca burns hot. It burns quick because it's got them oils. But this tinder, this is going to light easy for you. This will light easy for you. But bald cypress is alright, but it's not the greatest tinder. Okay, now we got all our supplies ready to make a bow drill fire. Alright, we have spindle made. Now what you do is you take a piece of your cabbage palm frond that's dried. And notice how it's already kind of curved there in the back. You're going to use that part to your advantage. See how that is? You start your circle right there. You start your spindle out of that. Okay, and then you just carve around. Now make sure you get it nice and straight. You want everything straight. And then your point you want to be centered with the whole thing. See how that's completely centered all around so it'll spin nice and even. Okay, now your top that's going to be on your bearing block should be kind of pointed. It'll spin easier. This should be flatter for more surface area. Okay, and then this is your fireboard. You're going to take, now what I do is I shave a little bit of the side down to give me a nice straight spot there. Okay, shave that down a little bit. You're going to spin here. Now, we have everything ready to get us a fire sustained if we get flame. This here is going to be put on top of our tinder. This here is our cabbage palm tinder with a little bit of bald cypress placed in there. And the grasses that we grabbed from the field out there. Found some dried grasses. Okay? And then this, after we get flame, this is just dried cabbage palm leaf. See how that's nice and dry? Crumple that up and put that on your flame to get your flame going. Then we have cabbage palm fronds split into kindling into bigger pieces to keep your fire building coals. Once you get all this, it'll burn you a quick hot fire that's safe to cook on. Okay? So now that we got everything ready, we got our bow here. Doesn't matter if you have a straight piece of wood, a curved piece of wood, a dried. It's better to have something strong that's not going to break on you, of course. This will work just fine. And then my bearing block I carry with me. You can use a piece of oak, a piece of hickory, anything hard, anything that'll be able to hold your spindle and give you a good spin. This is something I found on the beach. If you look, there's holes built into it already. This thing works great for spinning. Okay, I hold it like this, put it on top. It works here. I carry it with me everywhere. Just go on the beach, see if you can find one. I guarantee you probably can. Maybe back by a creek somewhere. Just look around. You can find a rock like this. Beach is the best spot to look though. So now that we're ready, first thing we got to do is cut a notch. We're going to start our notch here with our knife. I'm just going to do it right here at the end. About yay. Just get it started. Now this stuff is it's real easy to rip through, okay? It's not the hardest wood you've ever seen, which is why it makes such a good bow drill. And I want to note that we're using soft on soft, not a hard spindle on softwood. You'll burn right through this. It'll work better with soft on soft, your spindle being the same as your fireboard, because now you've got two boards burning into hot ember and fibers. So just get that outer layer off, because you'll sit there and you'll polish this if you don't take this off. And if you have to put a little sand in there, that's okay. That'll help burn it into fibers. It'll help you. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, now we're just burning a hole. That's all we're doing. See how nice that works? And it wasn't hard to make because this is so soft that it didn't take very much energy to make all this. Okay, there's our smoke. Okay, there's our hole. We burnt our hole. I want to show you something. If you watch closely here, instead of using a saw, I can use my knife, and I'm going to show you how much energy you don't need to use. Because we all know it's calories in, calories out. Okay? That's all it took to make that side. That's all it takes to make a notch. Okay? You don't have to use a saw. You don't have to burn energy cutting into that because it's that easy. Okay? That's the whole key, to know the easiest way to make fire, to get water, to do these things, because it's all about calories. The more you do, the more calories you burn. So your notch should look something like that when you get it in there. Okay, now I put this because you can see, like I said, it rained. This ground is soaking wet, and you don't want your ember hitting that. So I put some green cabbage palm leaves underneath with my small piece of tinder. Remember, we got the grass over here yet. We're going to put that right under here so there's no need to transfer it. Because one, it's windy right now, so I don't want my ember blowing out. Because you don't want to do this more than once. You don't have to keep doing this. If it's a survival situation, time matters. So just remember those little steps. This is a shortcut. You don't have to transfer that ember now. You can just go right into your tinder bundle. Okay, so let's strap up and see if we can get flame. Okay, we got our ember. Place it in here. Here. See, it grows. There we go. Start burning our dried leaves. Just baby it. There's no reason to rush this. There's no, you made it this far. Crush some leaves up, let them get on there, let them start burning. Make sure you got something like this cabbage palm that's wet. I got a dried one underneath here. That'll keep us off the wet ground. Okay. Then you're going to move on to your kindling. Start dropping kindling down. Okay, see, I have all these materials ready. I got a fire started. I'm prepared. I don't have to rush around. I don't have to run around and go find stuff now. I'm ready to go. Okay? Now, Florida's so dry that it's usually not hard to start a fire. Usually the fire starts in the wild as it is. But it's wet back here right now. And I just showed you how easy these cabbage palms can start you a fire. Once you learn the concepts and the technique behind making a bow drill fire, this is your easiest way to make it. Hands down.